Ross. This substitution is a powerful message that BC is sending as one that should not be overlooked. By replacing the customary clock, BC reveals its core values. However, when it comes time for those values to be put into action, a potent hypocrisy emerges. Our modern world runs on time. Time is money. For us here at BC, this adage is quite literal, as we pay for each credit hour. Our lives are strictly scheduled, and our minds are constantly fixed on a mental clock, ticking down to the next meeting, class, or deadline. Even though our generation has seemed to reject the use of watches, we check the time now more than ever, robotically pulling out our phones every 5 minutes to ensure we are still on time. Punctuality breeds success, and our capacity to succeed in this world hinges upon our ability to manage our time. The clock is a symbol of order and conformity, as all of us are subjected and molded by its supreme omnipotence. It's ever tick, tick, tick in the back of our minds. Well, BC rejects the power of the clock. Instead of allowing its presence to lord over our place of education, BC gives us a respite from those ever-moving hands. The BC classroom is a place where learning is more imperative than a deadline, where the importance lies in the quality of a lecture, not how long it may drag on. BC is replacing one symbol with another. Out with the symbol of order and conformity, and in with the one of love. In every classroom, there is a reminder of the mission of this school, of the man on whom the whole Jesuit order was founded. The absence of clocks and a symbol of love in their place is a powerful statement. In every classroom, there's the reason why I chose BC. For me, those crucifixes remind us to strive to emulate Jesus and what he stood for. Even though I don't consider myself religious, Jesus is one of my heroes, up there with Gandhi and Martin Luther King. He preached lessons of acceptance, of standing in solidarity with the people that society has rejected, aiding and accompanying them instead of letting them suffer alone. Jesus radically overthrew generations of dogma and stripped religion down to its core. He rejected accumulation of wealth and fought hypocrisy and oppression. Jesus was an activist fighting for justice in the unjust Roman world. In every classroom hangs a symbol of this radical activist. And the message we constantly hear from BC is to be men and women for others, to serve and to strive for justice. Yet BC is intimidating student activists who are attempting to emulate the mission of those classroom crosses. This is not simply neglecting to live out its stated mission, but acting in a way utterly opposed to it. This hypocrisy isn't just recent either, and has been increasingly been a problem over the past couple of years and has no signs of stopping without our intervention. Many students attempting to speak out and protest unjust societal constructs have been shut down by the very same people who took down the clocks and put up the crosses. As you will hear, social justice groups have been denied basic rights to post flyers, to organize, to hold rallies, and to even acknowledge the existence of their organization. Take this rally, for example. We had to jump through bureaucratic hoop after bureaucratic hoop to put together Rights on the Heights. Hurdles that would be practically unseen at any other prestigious institution. The administration demanded unnecessary sound permits from the city of Newton. They also denied our permit unless an official registered student organization was planning it, even though this wasn't the case last semester, showing that their rules are simply a facade from which they hide behind.
Yeah!
But their worst offense concerns direct suppression of individual students. The administration has admonished and sanctioned individuals who took part in the St. Mary's Die-In and the Climate Justice Vigil, rallies that should be a basic right of expression as an American citizen, and especially as a student of an institution supposedly striving for justice. Don't get me wrong. BC has some great programs for volunteerism that align with Jesuit ideals, but this is only one step in the process of fighting systemic injustice. Jesus not only volunteered his time aiding the disenfranchised, but also gave a voice to the voiceless. Volunteerism in tandem with activism is what fosters true change. Woo! One cannot exist without the other, lest our efforts be in vain. It is necessary to help the people affected by injustices, as well as fight to end the structures that perpetuate their suffering. Right now, BC is only supporting one side of the coin, even though those crosses call for more. Moreover, BC is supporting activism while actively supporting volunteerism while actively suppressing activism. By unfairly enforcing arbitrary rules on student activists, BC shows its true colors. We as social activist groups recognize that the administration is doing everything in its power to limit our right to speak out about difficult issues. In pursuit of preserving their pristine image, BC is shutting down any dissonance or voicing of potentially controversial topics. As a university devoted to academic excellence, we need the ability to have these difficult conversations. As an institution devoted to Jesuit ideals, we need to raise these tough subjects in hopes of attaining some semblance of justice instead of sweeping them under the rug. This is the hypocrisy. BC.
Yeah, Josh.
Really killing my flow here. This is the hypocrisy. BC calls us to do justice, to emulate those classroom crosses, yet when we do so, we are suppressed. We are asked to be men and women for others, yet demanded to be men and women for BC. We in the Social Justice Coalition don't see the administration as our enemy, however. We love our school and to recognize the incredible education we receive and the importance of Jesuit values informing our experience here. We read their mission statement, their articles on Martin Luther King Day and the importance of activism, and of course, see their decision to replace clocks with crucifixes. We see these as a promise of an institution that acts on its values and supports students who want to dive deeper into social issues and get to the very heart of how injustice occurs, who protest and ask the difficult questions even and especially when it makes people uncomfortable, who live out the life Jesus on those classroom crosses calls us to live. On paper, BC activists and the administration are on the same page. We share the same values to serve and to strive for justice in the world, to be men and women for others. We both believe in the power of the cross. Yet the recent actions of the school have been more in line with the symbol they supposedly reject, the clock. They value order over honesty, conformity over creed, and their image over justice. And so I asked the administration and all in the BC community to look up at those classroom crosses and ask what is the meaning behind their placement? And is BC acting in any way contrary to that mission? Because when I look up at the classroom crosses now, all I hear is tick, tick, tick.
Wow, that was inspiring. Thank you for those powerful words, Josh. That was awesome. All right, guys, we're going to keep